Know what that's all about, but it's all right. So you can be back up and running. Let's see. We're showing streaming. We're gonna go to the second form of verification. Yes. Yes, we are back. All right. Let's get everything set back up. Lots of fun. Always gotta love my internet provider just cutting out internet at exactly the same time every day because they can't handle peak usage. Very cool. Very cool indeed. So, as I was saying before I was really interrupted by my service provider, we are getting this orbit squared away. I'm gonna have to raise our apogee somewhat. Really, we need to be lowering it, which is a big problem. Just get this as tight of an orbit as I can manage without going into the atmosphere. In a way that's having the opposite desired effect. Let's boom. That back around. That bird back rack there. Alright, so we will at least be gaining on it. That's not ideal. Thought we'd have a much faster rendezvous here. Alright. On point. Ooh. I need to deploy my solar panels there. That's maybe a smart idea. That's better. Our power up. Alright, coming up on maneuver. There we go. Pretty close. Pretty close to the desired maneuver. Perigee still just barely outside the atmosphere, the trace atmosphere. I need to bring down Apogee. Just a little more. This is why I left the station in a higher orbit. Why is it not reading? Oh, I see. Okay, I'm gonna go just a little more prograde then. There we go. That would be the perfect maneuver. That could be the best we could hope for. And we will be catching up to the target ever so slowly. Let's go ahead and time warp to that maneuver. Almost there. Wait till 1 second to the burn, to the maneuver. Balance the burn, that's what I'm looking to say. All right. Guess it'll be another revolution probably till we get how we want to be. Let's just add a maneuver here. Yeah, so it'll be at least closer. There's really not much we could do to help this rendezvous. So we're already in the lowest safe orbit we can manage. So unfortunately, this time around, I'm just kind of stuck with it. Oh, there we are. Now we get ahead of it. So now we need to slow down. To slow down relative to our target, we actually need to accelerate and get a higher orbit. That's better. Now we're talking. Target perigee is kind of low. This is actually not going to be the best way to do that. Let's see about a radial change. Radial change could probably help quite a bit. Indeed it does. There we are. Not bad. I like that. Now we'll warp right in front of the maneuver here. Another 2-second burn. Maybe I might go for a little more thrust limited burn so we can more precisely time it. Oop, not gimbal limit. Thank you. There we are. 6-second burn? Yeah, let's not play with it anymore. Let's just go with a 6-second burn. Alright, coming up fast. Boom. There we go. Well, it doesn't let me cancel the maneuver, but that's okay. We have our 0.0 separation. So we're going to come very close. That's like at risk of smashing into it kind of close. And if all goes well, I should have a ton of fuel. We can maybe try and deorbit a couple other pieces of space junk. That'd be exciting. Alright, now we go retrograde the target, which is completely the other direction, and I was not bothering to prepare myself for this maneuver. Like a fool. That's better. Now, little last drop of fuel there. Get a good approach here. This thing still has fuel in it. I don't understand how. Just let me do some expedited maneuvering. Very expeditious. Now, as opposed to our usual docking, we will be grabbing this capsule and deorbiting it. Once our Kerman is safely on board, that is. Let's get rid of the maneuver. I don't no longer need that. I'm almost there. Approaching at 2.8 meters a second. Okay, we're going to go back to orbit targeting. So I can now drop this tank. Back to target maneuvering. Cancel the movement that just gave me. All right. I'm going to grab this sucker. Go to docking mode, go to RCS. It's just a little more exact about it. Look at that. That is a classy move. Ha! Well, I'll be damned. It actually lets me transfer the crew. Nice. I don't know how you transfer through a grabber, but all right. That's cool. RCS off, please. Back to orbital targeting. So I'm going to do it quickly. I'm going to deorbit this space junk. And then I'm going to bring us back into orbit. I'm going to see if we can put this Kerman to work right away. And this is the mind-numbingly loud engines. Bring it down a good ways. Bring it down to 50. We will bid farewell. To the space junk. We'll bring our orbit back up. Just that easy. Now we can set our next target. Ooh, we have to do very little to pull this one off. It's a radial change. We'll do that at the descending node. Hmm. 0.1's pretty good. Slightly negative, not negative, but slightly lowered perigee. Not a big fan of that. If I just go up a little. If I waited and did the maneuver at perigee, maybe that would do it for us. Well, now we're talking. Now our perigee's barely changing. That gets us pretty close as is. Gets us to absolute minimum 1 meter above the residual atmosphere. That's gutsy. But let's do it. Eloise is a pilot. Oh, she's going to be doing fine for us. Alright, we got a 5-second burn coming up. We're going to have 5 seconds of this very loud engine. Slight correction. Perfect. True intersect is at 1.5. We're 4 meters into the residual atmosphere. That should cause us no problems. Excellent. I can work on getting that just a little closer. Point 3. 2.1. We'll warp to the next maneuver. Stopped a time warp because we just barely are touching the residual atmosphere here. Just squeaking by. Eloise is excited to be cleaning up garbage in space. A 1-second burn coming up. Where are the Moonlanders now? Well, we got the Moonlander still docked at the station. Pardon the really loud engine. We still have a 4-man craft en route, and the tank is en route. And now we have what I really wanted. We have the grabbing unit. We've now saved Eloise from orbit. I have a new Kerman. And that is looking good. We're going to rendezvous with some space trash and deorbit it. Our refueler and our craft, there's still a little ways to go till their moon encounter. This is looking good. Yep, we're doing a rendezvous. This is my fun way of getting rid of space trash. I could always terminate it in the menu, but where's the fun in that? Alright, so I'm coming up on the target. So I'm going to cancel movement to target. A little more. Oh, that's right. I have Eloise on here now. I could have just been aiming prograde and retrograde automatically. This maneuver, I no longer need it. There we go. Now, where is our target? Somewhere around here. Oh, right below us. Some space debris. Burn to compared to target, then burn to target. Exactly. Station keep and then move in for the kill in this case. This is going to be a big module. Forgot that one of our stranded Kerman contracts left an entire science lab module in orbit. It's a lot of space junk. Alright. Trying to hit it dead center. Oh, yeah, that looked good. Alright, now to see if I can actually deorbit this sucker. This is when I need my RCS just to do a turn. Help if I was in in rotational mode instead of linear. These things help sometimes. Alright, now to deorbit this. Hopefully, how are we doing on fuel? Really good. I might be able to still take out more space trash here with just this one. So I'm going to get this again back down to about 55. I really need to change this to the volume because this is loud. This one engine for some reason is awful. Let's see. Click on grabbing arm, hit control from here, then click object to aim. That's how you do it, I think. Ah. Might be. I just did it the crazy way. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and release this. That should burn back up in the atmosphere. Now I can let Eloise go prograde. And I can start correcting our orbit. Maybe don't quote me. No worries. I assume you're probably actually right. Now, what other ones can we go for? Everything else seems kind of out of the way. What? Hold on. Quick distraction. What is landed at the North Pole? We landed a craft, but we recovered it. Did some of our spacecraft lower... Oh my god. You're kidding me. It still has power. So it's part of our booster. To the North Pole survived. Alright. Free stuff. We'll take it. Yeah, that's what I want to know. When I actually want something to survive re-entry and then an impact into the ground, it's not going to do very well. But that just decided to survive. I got nothing on that one. I am stumped. I mean, granted, the fuel tanks and everything else attached to it all exploded, but still. Oh, that's true. I forgot to, I wasn't even, like, looking at debris. Which debris is kind of the whole point. And look at all this debris. Oh, yeah, I did screw up this one last night, I think. Oh, no, it's heading for a negative periapse. Science station module debris. That one should deorbit. Some of this really should deorbit. I think if I just watch it, because I think it's on rails until I actually fly it. It's going to be like a whole episode of cleaning space junk. Let this burn up. Just want to see its perigee go completely negative. And then I will stop watching it because I don't care to watch it all the way to the ground. But if it gets to negative, bingo. And I know rails won't save it. Cannot switch vessels while on atmosphere. Are you kidding? You're kidding, right? Alright, well, I guess I have to watch it burn up and explode. Watching the overheat just whoop whoop down in the corner here. Just like, I'm gonna overheat. No, I'm fine. I'm gonna overheat. No, I'm fine. Once again, when I want something to survive re-entry, it's gonna struggle. But when I just have a random abandoned fuel tank tumbling through the air, it does great. Kerbal logic. I would laugh if watching one of these, somehow one of them just smashed in the vehicle assembly building. Just perfect pinpoint. Kablam. Do I really have to watch this the whole way? It's just silly. It's a silly rule. It's not really a vessel. I wouldn't really call this a vessel. It's kind of not logical there. Well, it survived re-entry. Can it survive a probably 400 meter per second impact with Kerbal's surface? Actually, it is decelerating much faster than I expected it to. Oh yeah, that's true. It's just time warp. What am I doing? Thank you. My brain was not working. As it is oft to do. Pour out a sip of the beer for our booster. All right, thank you. Now, can I please switch to something else? Let's I don't know how that. Yes, tracking station. Thank you, Kerbal Space Program. There you are. Oh, that's not reassuring. Jebediah Kerman Memorial Station debris. What the heck is that? It's not a good sign. Just debris from your space station. Remember that space station you had? Okay. Alright, this is just the booster that got one of the pieces up. And this is another one. Periaps is in the atmosphere. I don't know why it's not gone yet. It must be that all these things go onto rails when you're not actively flying them. Now, alternatively, what I could do anything that has a periaps in the atmosphere, I'm going to allow myself to delete. Normally I don't do that. Normally I feel like that's kind of cheaty, but if it's stuff that's sitting on rails and not deorbiting when it's supposed to, then, you know, that's a whole other story. So let's pick through this stuff. Perigee, yep, that should be gone. XJ4. What even is that? Gonna be important. Periaps. See, this one is barely in the atmosphere, but it is in the atmosphere. Sure that's not something, because it's untitled. Yep, just junk. Exactly as it should be. I'll get rid of that. Yep. Untitled craft debris. Terminate. Terminate. Space station module debris. Periaps at 39. Terminate. Terminate. No, why they insist on all these things staying in space? Doesn't make any sense. If they're gonna go into the atmosphere, just let them die. Orbiter 3 debris. This... Whoa. Whoa. Got a little glitchy there. This one should definitely not be there. Oh my god. Time update on space station pieces. Ooh, good call. They are... looks like they're about 2 hours out or so. 4 hours out. What the hell? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's exit. 2 hours is correct. 2 hours until they start getting into the Mun's sphere of influence. I'm amazed this one. Orbiter 3, this is from ages and ages ago. This is like from like the very start of the stream here. That shouldn't be out there because that was going into the atmosphere. Fuel resupply craft. Periaps is above, so I'll have to figure out how to delete that one on my own. Aren't close enough. It'll still be a while till they're in its sphere of influence. Only because the moon has to catch up to them. Oh, you mean the debris, probably. They are. I just don't understand why. Pretty sure what happens is everything just goes on rails and ignores physics if you're not watching it. Wow. That one's frustrating. Look at all the ridiculous debris. 71, that one's just high enough to stay in orbit. That one's definitely staying in orbit, unfortunately. Well, that one's way staying in orbit. Orbiter 3 is still out there. Wow, I really did create a lot of space junk, didn't I? Where is the... Oh, right here. The comms network. Wow. Oh yeah, this one should be terminated. This one's got a periapse inside the atmosphere. Let me see. They encounter, but that barely touches it. Yep. Everything off but the debris. Alright, debris is going to be our only focus. Let's go ahead and do that. Debris itself is a lot. Let me see. I've got debris landed at a launch site. Cover that. Demons debris. Yeah, that one stays high enough. This is the debris from the craft we just launched. We might as well recover that. Check this one. This one's high enough. We still have launch debris at the boomerang site. Okay. That's, 71, that's killing me. Anything that's not below 70k for a periapse, I'm not deleting. And I'll have to send a craft out. It's the only fair thing to do. Keep checking that same one, thinking it's gonna definitely be close enough, but it's just not even fair how close it is to being at the cutoff. That's all way up there. Oh, this is the Lunar Explorer debris. These I'm gonna terminate. These are single pieces of strut. And there's no way I could properly return those. So I'll kill those off. Whoa. Oh, that's right. That's our booster that we just kicked off. So that's going to actually smash into Minmus, so no worries there. Rails won't save that. I think that's it. I think that's all I can do. With Terminate. which is still pretty good compared to where we were at. Now, I also have a ton of stranded pods. What on earth is this? Okay, this is our moon transport. Nedbo's pod is going to be a pain. Orbiter 3.5 is still out there doing its thing. I think I might actually have fuel on this to deorbit it intentionally. This was part of our rescue attempt of Nedbo. This actually would have gotten the job done, but it was the backup. So we actually ended up not needing it. And sure enough, it is like fully fueled. Why have I just left this out here? Let me see, what's the control situation? It's not really letting me control it at all. We have radio contact. Do I need to... What do I need to do? It has battery, it has radio contact. Limited probe control. Why limited? Signal strength 100%. So why is it limited probe control? Just do this. Switch off to something else and then switch back to it. You'll turn it off and turn it back on. See if I can just force this to deorbit. Really? Why won't this let me control this? It says the reaction wheel is running. Turn the lights on and off. Why is the stage button blinking? Alright, it's letting me stage. Still not letting me control it. It's not letting me change the thrust limiter. Why are we limited probe control with 100% signal? I don't understand. Signal strength 100%. Bound signal off relay 100%. Can transmit science. Direct connection to Space Center. Limited probe control. Oh! Ha ha! It's on hibernate. Okay. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Let's just deorbit this thing. And forget that happened. Bring our orbital speed to 0. For when you want the most energetic re-entry you could possibly have, set yourself to 0 orbit over your orbiting body. And you'll have some fun. I guarantee you that. Now, just aim directly at Kerbin. Just straight line. Faster! Faster! If this doesn't completely burn up on re-entry, then Kerbal needs to change its physics. That's all I gotta say. This is gonna be the most ridiculous high-speed just smash into Kerbin. This thing is going fast. I wonder how fast I'll actually get this up to before we hit the atmosphere. Planet's getting big awful quick. We've almost reached orbital velocity. Heading directly towards the center of Kerbin. We've now reached orbital velocity, heading directly towards the center of Kerbin. Even the slightest course adjustment would actually kick us into an orbit at this point. Well, that's not how we do things here. Yeah, we're borderline reaching... I think that was just a flip over for us reaching escape velocity. Really not sure. Screw it. Should I just let it attempt to survive? I'll get money for recovering the craft. I might as well try, right? Just straight down. Alright, here goes. Residual atmosphere. Another 10,000 meters. Look at the booster. Yep, there goes that. Oh my god, this ablator is a beast. How? How did that possibly survive that? Alright, there's the drogue. God damn it. And we're gonna recover it. It's ridiculous. We only used 11 points of ablator. Smacking into the atmosphere at escape velocity. That is ridiculous. I'm not the only one that thinks that's ridiculous, right? Well, we get one of our old modules back. our original gen capsules. We're just going to recover that, bring it back, never use it. But we get some money from it. Guess we sold it to a museum or something. Yeah, 1,497 funds. Okay. All right. I'll take it. There we go. We're coming up on money encounter. Perhaps in 1 hour 22. 2 hours 2. So there'll be this one first. There we go. That kept us busy long enough to get this thing into a moon capture. Or at least within my usual limits of time warp that I allow myself. Alright, now I need to plan this out. Set up a maneuver to do our capture burn. Try and get this to the station. Hopefully not much of an inclination change is needed. So what I will do, I'm not going to lower our orbit by very much until I correct any inclination issues we might have. Oh, very slight inclination change. Yeah. Nope, we're going to do that en route. We're going to do that here. So I am going to actually lower this down right away because it is such a small inclination difference. I'm not terribly worried about it. Woohoo! Look at that. Pretty close to a very high-speed encounter. There we go. That should set us up. And that gives us, what for an encounter here? Or where will we be? It's an interesting... Target position at intersect and doesn't give our position at intersect. Curious. Let's, There we go. Now it's back. Yeah, I think that I might just be content with that, unless I can... Well, it puts us further off. Let's do some... Oop. There's the kind of maneuver we want to do, right there. Might as well just bring us up to the station at an insanely dangerous speed, right? Oh, 9 was where we were at. 8.5 is pretty good. So what's our major separation at this point? altitude. So let's go a little bit more retrograde. Let's change our timing a little again. It's the opposite of what I wanted. 2.6 is pretty good. 0.7 is really good. I can see that I can get better than 0.7, but actually using the mouse to do this is a challenge. .6, I'll take it. Just to say I did it. We're going to have an 8-second burn. So I'm going to set us up for it. Aim right at our target node. Time warp. So this is going to be a a capture and rendezvous burn in one. Why not? Smaller time warp. Let us get 4 seconds away from our maneuver. Here we go. A little bit of correction. And this time I'm definitely worried about making all those little corrections, because we want to actually get a rendezvous out of this. Oop, too much. Too much. Actually stay on point. Let's do RCS docking mode, and let's just there we go. That's one way to do it. Alright, so that maneuver is checkmate. This one, to mess with a little bit. 1.9. Back to 0.6, okay. A little bit of correction. Wow, stop doing that. Okay. Now, this one is about 4 hours away from its maneuver, which means that this is going to be our next maneuver. It's the refueler. Should be coming up on its perigee. And I missed the window for the return to Kerman burn for the trash, huh? Well, this would make it return to Kerbin as is. Make sure I get all the fuel out of it and into our main tanks. We'll be able to cut some dead weight. Yep, there we go. Fuel's gone from those. No ejection force. So that is on a free return course to impact with Kerbin. Now we can start planning our maneuver here. Now that we got the dead weight removed. Also not bad for an inclination correction, so I'm going to try and do that a little closer in. Very much the same thing. Okay, major difference is altitude. Major difference still is altitude. Should be right. We'll have an ascending node correction anyway. Oh, other way. Back to this maneuver. .3, I'll take it. All right. Yeah, I was going the wrong way around on that one. Oh, had my moments. That was not one of them. But I got it figured out. So we got an 11-second burn on this one. Give us just a little bit of time to set up the maneuver. So maybe 30 seconds away. Whoop, went way too far. It's okay. We'll still make it in time for the burn, I think. Probably. Iffy. Well, with all that I did, I was actually undoing a lot of what I originally set up. So that's part of it. The other part of that is in moon orbit, you're fighting very low gravity, so that does actually make things much easier. Just go ahead and correct this real quick. It's actually very hard to do maneuvers in one way on the moon, and that is that you could accidentally not do enough. Skipper. Oh, no, I'm actually using one of the Making History expansion engines, the Wolfhound. It's the AJ-10. So it's actually the real engine they used on the Apollo service module. Yeah, this has... It's pretty ridiculous. It's a specific impulse of 412 thrust, forget, actually. Hold on. I can tell you. I think. Yes. Yeah, our old friend, the AJ-10. Somewhere in here. Oh, there we are. Yeah, so thrust and vacuum, 375. It's pretty darn good. Alright, now we only have 17 meters a second to do the next maneuver. Now we do have to modify it a little bit, just to help us out with our timing. .9 is going to be our closest, so it's not terrible. So now this one's got 4 hours, 2 minutes till its maneuver. I want to see how long this one has. Is the Skipper your favorite or the AJ-10? Actually have to ask. Actually, the Skipper's okay. I like it as an engine. But, man, this AJ-10 is my favorite. It is an expensive engine, though, and it is a heavy engine. That's one thing to consider. I didn't used to consider the Cheetah at all. Oh, yeah, definitely. That's why I figured the AJ. But the Cheetah actually weighs a ton less. So on a smaller vehicle, the Cheetah could very well be a better option. It all depends on your tonnage. Yeah, this is definitely the closer maneuver now. How's our Minmus probe doing? That's still got a good ways. Okay. Not worried about it then. Let's go ahead and warp to this maneuver. Look at all the stuff over there. That's right, I still got a Kerman in orbit that should be deorbiting stuff, but I can't just deorbit trash for the entire stream. Look at us. They're flying in formation almost. Look at that. It's like a nerve with a thrust of more than 0. Well, the nerve's got it beat. The nerve's got a because it's only consuming liquid fuel and no oxidizer. It's got a almost double the engine ISP. But you're right, it is extremely low thrust. It's a good question. I should check if they can see each other. I'm going to do this maneuver real quick, and then I'm going to see what I can do. Showing this is like less than a second of burn. Can just thrust limit it down quite a ways. Should actually probably do this with RCS instead. But that'll do us. I'll have to switch the other one in a second as well. 1.3. I messed up our timing. Hang on. Hang on, I goofed this up. Nope, wrong way. So what happens when I get too lazy to set up a new maneuver node? Better. Back to where we were. Okay. Take it. And this time I think I've got some time to my maneuver. I will try and see if I can actually see the other craft. Set it as a target, maybe. Nah, it's still about 20 kilometers away. No luck. Oh no, this maneuver's all screwy too. What the heck's going on over here? Oh. I didn't switch back to set his target. That's fine. Little correction never hurt. Little last second correction never hurt nobody. I think I screwed the pooch on this maneuver. Well, maybe not. I found my way back to our 0.9 intersect. That was fine. Wrong target. Yeah, I found that out too late there. That's okay. We've got it back to where we had it. Let's make it a burn I can actually measure. 2-second burn, fine. Here we go. Correction burn. All right. That maneuver's in 13 minutes. Let's see how long I got till this one. This one. That's about 14 minutes. All right, so this is going to be kind of tight. I'm going to have to be like trying to multitask all our different ships here all at once. Now the refueler is pulling in ahead. The refueler is going to come up to its intersect first. So I'm going to have to switch to that. Yeah, that did come out pretty nice for timing. I'm pretty happy about that. All right. So from this, let's start aiming retrograde to target, because it did already give us target maneuvering. We've got 155.5 meters a second to try and cancel out. And I am really bad at mathing right now. So what I'm going to do, even though I know this isn't right, I'm going to just give us 150 meters a second of delta V to see what it looks like. Be a 6-second burn. So at our closest position, it'll be a 6-second burn. So when I'm 3 seconds from this maneuver node, exactly, I'm going to cancel it down to 0. And that should be the most efficient place to do it. And then I can immediately, hopefully, switch back to the other craft and do the same. Okay, 3 seconds in, and here we go. There's our cancellation burn. Pretty close to stopped. It's just a little more. Little more. Wasting precious time. There we go. I could just quick toggle switch. That's interesting. Node in 3 seconds? Okay. Retrograde, please, and let's start burning before this thing slips away from me. They arrived at the station at like the same time. Okay. Full limiter, please. Why did that just cancel out? What? It's not 0 meters a second. Why are you saying it's 0 meters a second? Oh, something broke. I broke physics. Switch targets. See if that works. So much space to make up now. Okay, I've recovered us back to a 1.3. So if I can make that just a little better. Nope, we're just making it worse. That was really bizarre. I don't know why that dropped target tracking. That was a very inopportune time for that to happen. Well, the other one now, we've got that pretty close. Those are about station keeping. If I hadn't lost the target tracking, that would have been really smooth. So everything there is all pretty close. I'll add a maneuver node just for timing, so we know what our closest approach actually is. Oh, we're really heading pretty fast towards the station, huh? Alright, we got visual on the station. That's a good sign. And the refueler up there, I can see that as well. Why did that just treating that like it just brought us out of orbit. That was interesting. It's getting weird. Things are getting weird. I was way more worried about fuel than I had to be, though. I will say that. Okay. Now, stability assist only. Let's move towards the station, and let's get our crew safe first, and then we'll worry about the fuel. Oh, that's right. Wrong target. Valentina Carmen Memorial Station. Set as target. Better. Let's cancel out the target a little bit here. Okay, now we make our approach. A little fast for an approach, perhaps, but I'll try and get these under wraps quickly. Morning looks pretty good. It's probably hovering about a little over a kilometer off from the station. That one I managed to do a little better job station keeping. All right. Now, one thing I do need to do, I need to check real quick as I go through these, make sure there's no auto strut enabled anywhere. Because Valentina Kerman Station, for some reason, has a vendetta against anything auto strutted. Just invites the Kraken. Actually, a little closer than I thought. It's station keeping pretty much right at its 900 meters. Not bad. Alright, it does look like nothing here is auto-strutted, which is definitely good in this case. You can see now the lander on the Valentina Kerman Station. Right here. We got two core modules here. The old and the new. The old science station, since the new one was destroyed in the Kraken strike. And the only fuel tank on board at the moment. And we're going to head for the opposite side of this lander. And take one of the small docks on the nose here. Okay, that's very comfortably station keeping. Let's just move this guy in a little bit. First, a little cancellation. Not going to bother to correct that. We'll just head straight for it. This time not as fast because I don't have the auto retrograde tracking. So I'll have to do that manually. There we go. Making our approach. This one has the easier job. This will be able to dock on one of the two side adapters for full-size docking ports. Once more, I'm going to have to check, make sure there's nothing auto-strutted. It's a good thing I checked, because there's quite a few on there that were auto-strutted. It was actually kind of cool having everything rendezvous all at once. I just wish the tracking node had done what I wanted it to do. Kind of spoiled it, huh? Alright, let's switch over to linear mode and docking here. Just get aiming retrograde a little better. RCS. Accelerate a little. Let my impatience get the better of me, perhaps. Well, it won't hit anything if it keeps going as it's going, so... I can go quite fast. Looking good. Let's get everything flying in formation. Finish just a little last bit of station keeping. All right. That'll make docking a little easier. We're going to more or less get this in position. And then I'm going to fine-tune it. Again, I have to turn auto strut off for everything on the station, which makes this very inconvenient. Let's put that like right there. I think is pretty close. All right. And then we want to control from here. We want to set this guy as our target. And that'll let us line up the dock just a little better. All right. Now we start docking. Control from here. We want to set that specific dock as our target, if we can. Might have to get a little closer. Turn on linear, RCS. Not really close enough yet. Oop. It's just back on. I gotta like really tone down the strength of these thrusters because it makes it way too hard to do this. There we go. Actually looks like a pretty good approach. Am I actually already targeting the correct dock? I guess I am. Looking good. A little bit of correction. Little crooked here, but you know, we're just gonna brake when we get close enough. Okay. Okay, no Kraken strike. Excellent. So now we've got the crew on board. It's one step in the right direction. Woo! Nope. None of that, please. I don't like having RCS on the station all at once. It's a good way to waste fuel. Alright, now we want to control from here. And we want to target this. Which axis is going to let us do that here? That would be this axis? Nope. Oh. Duh. Just wobble the station, no big deal. Just wobble the crap out of it. When everything is there and steady, then I will re-auto strut. And hopefully not cause a Kraken strike. There we go. Happy with that. Yep. So just target. Alright. RCS off, please. Okay. It's better. On our way in. Easy peasy. That's been an auto strut check. Getting good. Oop. Check the radiator before that becomes a problem. Forgot that was there. Also, no Kraken Strike. Beautiful. I think we've solved that issue. Sort of. Turn SAS off, because it's wobbling itself to death. I might have spoken too soon. Let's try and help it along a little bit. Let's put more fuel in the center line. Make it a little easier to control. And the spin is fine. I'm not worried about the spin. I just want the wobbling to stop. And at that point, I will start auto-strutting again so we can aim the station like we want. What's my average viewers per stream? Honestly, I think it was like around 7. It's something crazy low. But that's fine. I don't do it for any kind of scorekeeping for myself. Let me see. Ooh, I can dump a lot of fuel into there. And dump that in. Awesome. So that's helping us balance out the weight by quite a bit. And that's what we needed. So the wobbling is done. We'll auto strut a few things. Very key items. Is it actually? Yeah, I think that's about what it was. Then again, it's very easy to impact it. I've only really been doing this for a month. So, yeah. It's probably gone down since I last checked it, which I think was maybe 2 days ago. I think it might have actually been fine keeping that radiator deployed. Kind of a close one. But I think we're finally good to put SAS back on. Yes! We have a stable station. So from here, put us prograde. Yeah, I've had a few people from one group all kind of joining pretty routinely. That was helping my numbers a little bit. But I haven't had them on in a few nights. Like I said, with this only being stream number 30. That also might have been total streamers. For like, or total viewers for the stream. So like if someone joins in and then leaves halfway through, but someone else comes in halfway through, I don't know. I'll try not to stress it. But okay, I'm a happy man. this is finally ready. Tomorrow I'll maybe do some landing missions here. Now that we finally have fuel to refuel this, and a scientist is end down, start gathering a lot of science from the moon's surface. We also have to send a craft up into moon orbit to start rescuing the other 2 Kerman that are stranded at the moment. They'll bring them back to the station, and we'll use this as their return vehicle. And let me see, what else? Now at this point, how's our orbit's looking good. Looking good and healthy. We want to check in on our newer capsule. See, because I always see you with so little for actually good content. She was like 3 times 2 hours trios and all times. Audio was broken and didn't realize. Well, I appreciate the compliment on the quality. I did stream for quite a while back in 2014, more Kerbal Space Program, but I only did that for about a month total, and then just fell off the face of the planet thanks to work. But you know, that seems to be a much more steady go of it, and I've got the hardware to help too. It's not all just being better at setting it up. Sometimes the hardware really does make a big difference. Well, alright. I don't know if I'm in range for anything right now to attempt to deorbit. Everything else is like way off this way. Somehow these are still in orbit. It's weird. Hardware do I have? I actually am recording on an Elgato 1080. I believe it is. Don't quote me on that one. But it is one of the internal cards. I've got pretty high-end system running that. It's about a $3,000 system running that, plus a $2,000 gaming system and a $3,000 storage server for editing when I actually don't feel like being too lazy to edit. I need a lot of storage space. So I went crazy. Yeah. Is this thing just not deorbiting? What the heck is going on with this? Okay, yep, nope. Now that one is... Oh, come on. Time warp again. Let this one smash up. Yeah, I'm like the only person I know that now has a guest PC in his apartment. My roommate was laughing at me for that one. Alright, this thing's about ready to smash up. Come on. Blow up, we want to move on to other things. Come on. Okay. Yes, yes, we know. Vehicle destroyed. Yep, I'm aware. Thank you, Kerbal. There we go. Tracking station. Sometimes Kerbal likes to argue with me here. Just for a second, what hardware do you have? Okay, the rundown. Now I have a little better thought out. I've got a Elgato internal capture card, which is 1080p capable. I'm using 720 because my internet's not as good as it should be. That's being run in my editing streaming system. It's about a $3,000 system. I could go into specifics if you want. Got a $2,000 gaming system that's running it. I've got a $3,000 storage server for dumping everything when I feel like editing it. I can actually store it all. But yeah, I went totally berserk. My roommate laughs at me for having a guest PC in our apartment. No guest room, but a guest PC. This is the one that should be deorbiting, I think. Yeah, this should be deorbiting. Why is this not deorbiting? Yeah, oh well. Yeah, I went over the top for a while. I just enjoy messing with hardware. Falls in line with my work too. So it's hard not to want to just buy every new thing when it comes out. How is this not deorbiting? I stream for computer. What's the point of a separate PC? Not much of one. It's easier to compile video and get steadier video content if you have a separate machine doing it. But for Kerbal Space Program, there's no real purpose. Just because I have it. Now, if you're doing like a AAA title and your computer's struggling, then yeah, definitely having a separate PC will help take the workload off. But the gaming PC also kind of is my VR PC, so a lot of times I'm moving it over and just gaming on this anyway. How is this not deorbiting? What is with this right now? Okay, it's insisting that it is deorbiting. Okay, yeah, now it is. Now it is. Oh, can I still go and switch to something else? Now that it's like going to impact. Damn it. Nope. Space debris. Why? I do like that they put the name of the company though. Even games like Overwatch and other AAA titles, I can still stream on my computer running minimum 90 FPS. That's pretty darn good. I'm not gonna lie. I assume that's probably a fairly recent build then. A lot of older PCs, especially when I did mine, so I actually built all the systems set up like in 2015, more or less, and then started adding to it. At that time, it was rare to find more than 4 cores and 8 threads. But nowadays, you know, there's a lot of good competition thanks to AMD's madness. 1060, so that's on par with my capture system. My capture system is it's actually a pair of 960s, so the older generation of the 1060, and SLI. Although I don't typically use them for SLI. Usually one is video encoding and one is running the backup monitors and checking on the stream. Ooh, 2080. That would be awesome. I haven't messed with the 2080 and I've been tempted. If you can't tell by my absurdity. Alright. Smash it in the ground. Come on. Bye-bye. There we go. Ooh. Got VR. I do. I actually got an Oculus. But that's running on a modest little PC. I bought a case from the UK when it was still in development, so I got an engineering sample. Serial number 5, bragging rights. But it's a little 7-liter case. It's very tiny, and that's got a GTX 1070 in it with Gen 7 i5 overclocked to 4.8, which is remarkable for the amount of space I get in there. 16 gigs of RAM. It's not like that in crazy, like top end, like anything else that I have, but it's really good to have a small PC like that if you want VR, because you can kind of take it with you and still set it up other people's places. Because then all your friends want you to bring your bring your VR over. All right. I think that's it for the stream today. That has been an adventure, to say the least. I'm glad we got the station up and going. And I might actually go ahead if you're in a later stream. I might just grab the what was it called? One of those PC building sites. I gotta think about which one it was. PC Part Picker, I think it was. Could always send you all my builds that I have if you're curious. They're really not that great. It's just I keep spending money on stuff when it's brand new. If only you could put it in orbit. Can you imagine doing VR in orbit? Oh my god, that's like a whole new possibility. Because VR in orbit, you could do like all your running motion and everything else. You wouldn't need to have like a treadmill system. Huh. I think we're onto something. I think we're onto something big right there. Want to play VR correctly? Go into orbit. I wouldn't want to even be in VR though at that point, I think I just want to look out the window. But alright. That's been a long stream, and I think that's where I'm going to call it. So, of course, if you want to check out any of the older streams, like I said, we've only been doing this for about a month. You can check them all out on our YouTube channel down below. And thanks for watching. I will not infringe upon your patent, I swear, for Orbital VR. Good night.